Hey everyone, Draco Prime 220, and here is my spoiler review for episode 10 of season 2 of Monarch Legacy of Monsters. Oh my god. This, hands down, was the best episode. First of all, one, I'm not trying to start nothing here, but haters are gonna hate. I don't see why there's a lot of people that do not like this show. Second of all, if it was as bad as a lot of people have said, why is it so high on the ratings on Apple TV? And why is the cast kind of hinting at a potential season 3? We're gonna get to that. And the photography, the acting, well, I admit that the writing is a mixed bag, but this is a phenomenal series. Haters are just gonna hate, and I'm sorry. You gotta learn to lower your expectations. All because it's called Legacy of Monsters doesn't mean it's just gonna be always about the monsters. This is also why I think people don't like it. They have their expectations too high. They're expecting a lot of monster action when that's not the case. It's a human-based story showing how Titans have affected people and how something like this would affect someone emotionally, mentally, and physically. This episode was amazing. My respect for Kong just grew. I'm gonna go through a rundown of what goes on. Kentaro, I'm sorry. If a season 3 is greenlit, which I'm getting a feeling the way they end this, there's gonna be. And also, Isabella was the villain the whole time. They didn't kill her off, so I don't think they're gonna not make a season 3. I'm sorry, that's not in the, I don't see how. The way that they let the villain get away, and Isabella is not in any of the most current MonsterVerse films, so they're probably going to make a third season. If they end it with a third season, that's fine. Kentaro, I'm sorry, I hate him now. When and if a season 3 is greenlit, Kentaro, whatever happens to you, happens. I don't give a crap. I get it. He wants to try and save his father and stuff like that, but oh my god, I'm sorry. I do not. I can't stand him. When he says that Kong and Titan X are expendable, I'm like, you. And the fact is, he makes it worse by pushing the lever to make Titan X more aggressive during the fight to win. Oh my god. Kentaro is one of now the characters I hate the most, along with Isabella. This is nothing against the actors or actress. I have to say, I gotta give them amazing credit because of how they made me like Kentaro, but now they've made me love to hate him. Same thing with Isabella. She was good in Prey. She was someone you rooted for. Now she's playing a character. Amber Midthunder's playing a character. I just want to see someone get stomped on. Now Kong. Kong, he was amazing in this, and I don't understand all the Kong hate. Will I admit I don't hate Kong, but I will agree he is getting a little bit too much of stuff to do in the MonsterVerse. I get it, but Godzilla's a little bit more harder to do because he's not as human. But it looks like from what certain rumors are, that may change in Supernova. If you want to find out, go to the Atomic Fan to find out. But, Kong, I respect him. When he realized that Kokai was going for her, just wanting her egg, she grabs the egg, does this. He backs off, and he looks so like, oh, I get it, I understand. That's why Kong is a good king. He's a good king. Because he knows at this point in time in the timeline that he doesn't have a family. he knows what it's like to lose a family, and I don't think he would want to be responsible for something like that. But the fight between Kong and Kokai, the choreography was absolutely amazing. The camera shots, the angles, it really made them look huge, like Titans. And let me tell you, when Kong did those two punches, the right hook and left hook, it sounded like thunder was hitting her. If a mountain could punch, that's what it sounded like. The Kong vs. Titan X fight was amazing. It was brutal. It was intense. Kokai was putting up a good fight between being a mom and being basically enraged by the controls in her body. She put up one hell of a fight, and I have to say, once again, even the scenery of Skull Island was absolutely gorgeous, and I'm thinking, how can people hate this? And there's an Easter egg, the one helicopter that Captain Conrad was in. They hide in that helicopter, Keiko and Lee Shaw, from a stampede of giant caterpillars. I thought those were nice additions to the monsterverse fauna of Skull Island. This was an absolute amazing episode, and there was so much character given to Kokai, Titan X. After the fight, and I have to say the human characters were done so well. Keiko, Kate, Lee Shaw, even Tim. Oh my god, Tim is my man. He is amazing. He tackles one of these guys, and he says he was a punter in football. Funny thing, I used to play football when I was younger. I was with the Tunkhannock Tigers. They called me the V-Man. Just a little quick thing. They said one time we were at a game, and I charged at someone. People said I looked like a dang rhino because I had my head down, and I tackled this one person, and the person ran off crying, and I'm like, I didn't hurt him, did I? I'm like, no, but you did that was a good tackle. Some of the kids on my team called me a rhino. But anyway, I loved it. The human characters were amazing, and Kate, I don't know why Kate is so hated. She's trying to rectify and reach out to her brother. And she's very resourceful. She gets out of the broom mop closet, I believe. She gets out of it by using some kind of adhesive, I believe, and a match. She's pretty amazing. This is where she shined in this episode. Kentaro and Isabella, of course, get away. Kate makes one last desperate plea to say, Kentaro, don't do this, but he said, I'm gonna try and do it. This is my turn to try and fix things. Kentaro, you're gonna get bit in the ass. And it's gonna hurt, and when you realize it, you're gonna be like, what have I done? I also like how expressive Kokai is. Because there's a scene when she's all like disoriented, she's trying to get to the ref, she's going the wrong way. Kate, they actually put like it's similar to the Halo jump, but instead of her jumping off, they just tie something in case, because what happens a little bit before that, she sees Kate, Kokai tries to grab the CH-47 Chinook, and that's actually pretty cool, because I've seen those in a lot of Toho movies. Like, one that appears when Godzilla comes out, the iceberg in King Kong vs. Godzilla. I just think those are pretty cool. And that was like, I know they've appeared in a lot of movies, but I haven't seen a lot of military films. But I remember those from a lot of the Godzilla movies I would watch, and I still watch. So I'm like, they're taking so much from these little bits and pieces here from Godzilla films and history. And I'm like, why are people complaining? Look, I get if it's not your cup of tea, but please, don't ruin it for others. Look, if you don't like it, just don't watch it. Don't ruin the experience all because it didn't meet your expectations, when people may have no problem with it. But, anyway, Kokai manages to open the rift, and actually it's in the little pond of water. There is a very beautiful moment where I actually teared up. Kokai, like, Kate puts out her hand, and Kokai puts out, like, her tentacle, and she touches it. It's similar to how Weaver touched Kong on the snout, or Serizawa touched Godzilla on the snout, saying, goodbye, old friend. It was just emotional, and then she went home. I am just so glad that she got home alive, and her baby is safe with her. And this is like the first Titan that I think in any of the MonsterVerse films or the show that a Titan has survived to say, hey, I fought the Earth's two mightiest kings and lived. Godzilla and Kong, despite the small amount of Godzilla and Kong were portrayed beautifully in my perfection. Chef's kiss. Because they're not just monsters. They are good kings. Godzilla kind of loses his way because he does become more aggressive. He becomes more like, I'm the alpha, don't screw with me, or I'm going to stomp you in 600 feet into the ground. But, I'm sorry, if I'm looking that way, one of my cats is playing with a toy. It's a jingle ball with a bell in it. They were portrayed beautifully. This was solid 10 out of 10. Kate and Keiko have May and Tim on the new Monarch team in the basement. But Lee, I have to give credit to KDM, you sly fox. KDM is a good, an honest resource for monster information, or he hints things. He doesn't automatically spill out and say them, but he's clever. He's a clever fox. So, I have to give credit to him. Shout out to KDM. Lee Shaw is in Thailand, meeting a guy named Awoot. I think that's his name. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name. And they're going through this jungle, and he shows burns on his arms. And they're like, and he says that a Japanese man, Kentaro, and an American female, Isabella, were there looking to use what they were to an access point in Access Mundi. And lo and behold, the big surprise ever, a reviewer and a couple people have said, including KDM first and foremost, lo and behold, after not being seen since 2019, a fiery old friend decides to pay us a visit. But is it the same one? Possibly not. Possibly there's two of them. And who do I mean? The one, the only, the fire demon himself, the supersonic terror, Rodan. Yep, our big fiery boy Rodan finally shows up after being gone for years. And Lee Shaw just has the most badass ending line when he looks up at Rodan and goes, see you soon. Only Lee Shaw or Kurt Russell could pop off and say something to that to Rodan. It's similar to him with The Thing, where he says, yeah, fuck you too, and throws a bomb at a piece of dynamite at The Thing. Only Kurt Russell could pull that off and make it look badass. Rodan is back. So, I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. The cast has been hinting at a season 3. Rodan appears at the end. And if we're going on the trend of season 1 ended with the tease of Kong, then season 2 ends with a tease of Rodan. This could possibly mean Rodan will be a significant character, possibly in a season 3. Once and if it's greenlit, which I'm getting the feeling it's going to be. I think a season 3, and I get the feeling season 3 could be the final season, which I wouldn't mind, but, because we also got the Lee Shaw series, so we may not hear anything right away, but I get the feeling after the Lee Shaw series, which is starting to film in July, so we're going to be eating good. We're going to be eating good, guys. We're going to be having a kaiju feast. I think maybe in a month or so, or maybe in a couple weeks, they may say, or after Lee Shaw series is filmed, sorry, I had an early supper, we may hear that season 3 is greenlit. which I'm all for, because if it's Godzilla and Rodan as the two title character monsters to follow, I'm all for it. Because it's been a long time before Rodan has gotten any spotlight. So, I give this episode a 10 out of 10. Good writing, good action, good heart. I'll say this, once again. If they brought this kind of level of human characters into the movies, I don't think people would have a problem with the human scenes. If it was done like this. I will say, the writing can be mixed, but the writing I think was good, you know, towards the middle to the end. I think the writing was very good. There were a couple spots in the first few episodes where the writing was good, but little bumps here and there. But I do think a season 3 is inevitable. I do think it is. Because Isabella and Kintaro are alive. Rodan was teased on a cliff at the end. And there are people saying this could be 2 Rodans. So that is actually a nice homage to the original Rodan film where that featured Rodan and a mate. So, could they be doing that? And could Isabella and Kintaro try to use Rodan as a tool to get into Access Mundi? Oh my god, they messed with a water creature. Now they're going to probably mess with a fire monster. A fire demon. Smart, guys. Very smart. You mess with something that can control, that lives in the ocean. Now you're dealing with something that could possibly burn everything to the ground. And possibly this could lead into Godzilla vs. Rodan, which we never got, actually, surprisingly, from Toho. Well, since they're making this Godzilla World franchise, maybe Toho will finally give us a Godzilla vs. Rodan film after so many years. Because I'm actually surprised we never got that kind of movie, where it was just Godzilla fighting Rodan. We got them fighting in, like, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, and in Ghidorah 3 had a monster for a little bit, where they were fighting across the countryside until Mothra showed up. But we never actually got them, and in Final Wars 2, as like a 3 against 1. King Caesar, Anguirus, and Rodan. I think Season 3 is inevitable. All we gotta do is just wait and see what happens. But you wanna know something? I love this show. I love the 2 seasons. Season 2 a little bit more than Season 1. I have to say that the writing is, for the most part, consistent, both in Season 1 and Season 2. And I'm excited when Season 3 is greenlit. I cannot wait. And if Rodan is a central character, as a secondary creature, since we followed both Kong and Godzilla in Season, and Kokai in Season 2, I wonder, will we follow Godzilla, Kong, and Rodan in Season 3 when and if it's greenlit? Or are they going to throw a curveball at us and introduce maybe another Toho monster? Because the manager of Apple TV did say they are going to bring in more Toho monsters. So, sorry, once again, then my cat's, he's hyper today. We'll just have to wait and see, but oh my god, this was absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to see what happens next. I'm very excited for the Lee Shaw series. Put your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. But all I ask is please be respectful and do no harsh comments. No, just be respectful and be polite, please. But yeah, I can't wait to see what happens next. And if you enjoy this video, like and subscribe. I am Draco Prime 220 signing off, and Sayonara, Titan X Kokai. And hello, old friend.